I'm speaking to business owners. It's important to make a difference in our community, and that's really a huge part of my heart. And I feel like more and more business owners could do that. And we do have a lot of business owners do help at Ways for Life. So I'm super grateful for that. But I just, I think having something that you support along the way in your community and letting your customers know is such a good thing. And I always like to tell people that, are you helping the community? And if they say
Yeah.
yes, yay, 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 what are you doing? How can I support you? And if they say no, what has impacted your life? Like, adopting our dog has impacted our life. So that is what I do. That's I'm passionate about real estate, but this is also passion.
This is True Voice Unfiltered, the podcast where raw truth meets real transformation. I'm your host, Daria Ann, ghostwriter, content strategist, and holistic health warrior. No, I'm not a doctor, nurse, nutritionist, or any kind of medical professional, and this show does not dispense medical advice. I'm just an informed patient sharing what I've learned on my own healing journey. I also interview accomplished authors, speakers, entrepreneurs, and functional medicine practitioners who are transforming lives. If you're ready to break free from the sick care system, reclaim your health, and transform your life, you're in the right place. Let's get unfiltered. Hey everyone, and welcome to True Voice Unfiltered's local business series. I'm your host, Daria Ann, and I help busy professionals transform their knowledge and expertise into evergreen brand assets like books. You may notice my background here is my own book, My Escape from the Sick Care System, and I'm actually working on book 2 as I record this. But I'm really happy to announce that I have become a member of a fabulous networking group here in the Melbourne area called Invested Networking Group. So you can see my name tag. Also got my official water bottle, which I love, and my official binder, which is over there. And I'm really thrilled to be able to showcase local businesses through this podcast. I really was missing that human interaction, even though I have been working remotely since 2004. So this is nothing new for me, and I really enjoy it. I also realized that I needed a little bit of structure. I needed the structure where I had to be someplace at least once a week at a specific time to interact with other business professionals, meet more people in the community, support local businesses, and just, get to know people. So I reached out to a good friend of mine, Lisa Soloway, who is a realtor here in the Melbourne area, right before Christmas, and I asked her if she could recommend a networking group for me because she and I were part of a networking group years ago that has since disbanded its local chapter here. So Lisa recommended Invested Networking Group, and I joined in January with a little bit of a shaky start just because of everything that was going on in my personal life with Willow. But once I got beyond that, I really threw myself into it and decided that one of the ways I could support the businesses in this group was to do individual interviews with the members, hence my local business playlist at True Voice Unfiltered. So I hope you enjoyed today's interview. Please support these businesses any way you can. Share the episodes. And I know that not every business lends itself to working with clients or customers remotely, but even if you know people who live here, or if you could just share the interviews, that would be really helpful to help them attract their ideal clients. So without further ado, I present True Voice Unfiltered's local business playlist. Hi, and welcome to episode 37 of True Voice Unfiltered. I'm excited about today's episode because today I am welcoming my friend, Brevard County, Florida realtor and co-founder of Ways for Life, Lisa Soloway. Lisa and I have been friends for several years, and I'm excited to bring her on today to talk about a few things, including her real estate career, but especially what she does at Ways for Life and the story behind that and how she came to be involved in helping kids who are aging out of the foster system. And the work that they do at Ways for Life is so needed and appreciated. And it's amazing to see how the community partners have really joined them in helping these kids when they age out find housing, find jobs, go to school if that's what they want to do, but basically get their life started from a solid foundation that they may not have had growing up. So Lisa Soloway is a proud mother of 4 and grandmother to 8. She has built her life around one simple mission, serving the needs of others through real estate and Ways for Life. In real estate, Lisa offers exclusive money-back guarantees for both buyers and sellers,
giving families the confidence, certainty, and peace of mind they deserve when making one of life's biggest financial decisions. But for Lisa, real estate is about more than transactions. It's about transformation. As founder and director of Lift Up Life Skills and co founder of Ways for Life, she is deeply committed to empowering youth aging out of foster care and those experiencing homelessness. Through innovative programs and hands on mentorship, the Ways for Life team helps young people gain access to housing, legal support, employment opportunities, education, transportation, healthcare, wellness services, and counseling. Most importantly, they help teens believe in their potential and guide them on designing a future they're excited to live. Lisa's greatest passions and purpose live at the intersections of home and hope, guiding families through buying and selling homes with confidence while empowering the next generation to build lives filled with opportunity, stability, and self belief. Whether she's negotiating a winning deal or supporting the team at Ways for Life, Lisa's mission is to help their members map out their dreams. Lisa Soloway shows up with integrity, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to serve with passion. So it's my pleasure to welcome Lisa Soloway to True Voice Unfiltered. Lisa Soloway, welcome to True Voice Unfiltered, and thanks for joining me today.
Oh, Daria, thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this, and I really enjoy watching your True Voice podcast. A lot of really good people that you're interviewing. I've learned different things along the way, which is really super cool.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean, I get to meet a lot of interesting people. That's one of the things I love the most about it. And especially you, because we've been friends now for several years and we recently reconnected. And I'm so excited about that. And I know that you've been involved in real estate for many, many years. And I want to ask you, because we live in Florida and we know there's no shortage of realtors here. So, what does service mean to you, though, in terms of real estate? And why did you choose to go into that?
Service to me means making sure that I am going above and beyond, and making sure that every step of the way that the people I work with are happy, are feeling good, because it is a stressful time in
Mm.
people's lives to sell a house, to buy a house. So I really like to take care of everything from A to Z. And I really see what we do together as a partnership to make sure that they get what they want and they're happy, extremely happy in the end. That is
Yeah.
what I feel like service is. And our motto in our company is go serve big.
Oh, I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. And so Lisa, you are with your home sold guaranteed realty,
Yeah.
right? And tell us a little bit about that because they offer something unique that I don't think I've ever seen any other real estate company do.
That is what attracted me to your home sold guaranteed realty is, first of all, when we work with buyers and sellers, we do not use the state forms. Our forms are benefit rich. For sellers, we're listing many different benefits for them. For example, I promise to guarantee them market value. So we come up with a range based on a lot of study on what homes have sold for, in their area, in their particular neighborhood, if they're in a particular neighborhood. So I'm going to guarantee them. And if I don't sell it within that range, then they get a portion of my commission. So that is one of our big guarantees that we make. Also, communication is one of the main reasons people do not go back to their agent. So my promise is if I don't reach back out to you in 24 hours, I'm giving you $100 credit at every closing, based on how many times. But I don't let that happen because communication is key. It's really important to me. And I've never had to pay that out because it's really important that, whenever they have a question, you're answering it. You're helping them along the way. You're helping them with, any kind of inspection issues, making sure that they get the right deal and everything's taken care of for them. So
That's
for
amazing.
yeah, for buyers, one of the things is, I do promise to get them a home warranty because it's interesting. The stats are that something happens within 90 days with every existing home, and sometimes it's even a brand new construction, brand new home. Things
Jeez.
happen. Yes, yes.
Builders cut corners
Mhm.
sometimes. I mean, they've been known to do
100%.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I know, it's interesting. So you don't have to use the state forms. It's funny. Like a million years ago, I got my real estate license more just because I was curious and I wanted to learn more about it. I never really pursued it as a career, but Talk about that a little bit because I always assumed that you had to use like the official state paperwork.
No, you do not. And,
Oh.
there's certain things like the flood disclosure, we do need to use that form, the condo, the HOA forms. But no, we don't have to use the state forms. And, honestly, they're really geared toward the broker and not the client.
Yeah.
So ours are within the law and also really heavily benefit rich. And one of our parts of our agreements, both buyer and seller, is that, we give a portion of our income to Ways for Life. So when we close on a house, I give a portion of my commission to Ways for Life in both our names, everyone who's involved. And Ways for Life sends a thank you card to them.
Oh, that part I knew that, but that part I did
Mhm.
not know. That's wonderful.
Yep,
Oh
yep.
my
So
gosh.
I give a donation from my commission. I put everybody's name, where the house is, where it came from, really.
And we're going to talk about Ways for Life in a minute, but I just wanted to ask you, just where does the real estate market here stand? Because we're in Brevard County, Florida. How
Mhm.
are things? As I know things went kind of crazy in 2020 and probably for a few years after that. So,
Yes, it has changed. By and large, most, zip codes were in a more of a balanced or neutral market, and right now, on average, it takes about 101 to 103 days to sell a home in Brevard County, but we're seeing some that are priced correctly, in good condition, and good locations. They're selling for less days and sometimes 5 days, and the ones that aren't are taking hundreds of days. I've even seen almost a year.
wow.
So, it just depends on those 3 criteria, but so we are, in some areas, even in a buyer's market. So what that means is if, there's up to 4 months of inventory, that's considered more of a seller's market. If we're between 4 and 6 months of inventory, that's what we consider a balanced or neutral market. And then over 6 months is considered a buyer's market. And so, in some zip codes, it's over 6 months. And, yeah, so yeah, and, we are seeing a rise in buyers right now, which is good compared to the last couple of years. So that's really, really good. When it was 7%, people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait till those rates go down," which is
Yeah.
understandable, but I chuckle sometimes because when I bought my first house, my husband and I were jumping up and down because it went down to 10.5%. So,
Yeah.
it
That was in
really
the
makes a
Northeast,
difference.
right? Yeah. That was,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Funny. Yeah, I know everything's relative, right? But that's interesting to me that it actually comes down to the zip code as far as whether we're in a buyer's neutral or seller's market.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
So
Yeah.
I'm always when I'm meeting with a seller, I'm looking at their particular zip code and, what the stats say for the previous month. And, like I said, it's about 103 days on the market right now, but it could be 62 in a particular market. So that's very telling as to, but by and large, prices are coming down.
Well,
They're
that's
coming,
good to hear because
the
I do
market's
think prices
stabilizing
are important too, not just rates, because it's like,
100%.
yeah, that's awesome. That's
100%. And we're seeing concessions too. Sellers willing to give concessions. Um, I have one particular, contract right now where they're willing to do 15,000 because their home has been on the market for a long, long time.
oh, wow, yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So it's sort
Yeah.
of like it works out for both parties and yeah, it
Right.
helps both parties. That's
Right.
great. Yeah, because I have seen, especially in the Philly area, some of these houses, they get into these bidding wars and some of these buyers forego the home inspection, which I would never do. I
No,
mean,
not
I
smart.
think
I
that's
never advise
absolutely
buyers, even
insane.
if they're cash, even if they're a cash
Yeah.
buyer. I just did an inspection today, with a cash buyer because you need to know if there's
Yeah.
anything wrong.
Yeah. And you have a great network, Lisa, too, that you work with. So it's amazing because somebody can come to you and kind of get everything they need, whether it's mortgage, home inspection.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
and I love I have to say your social media is awesome too. You always have these little tips for like how to decorate your living room or, what it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, we
Yeah.
do cover, like, the gamut of everything house.
Yeah. No, you do. And it's a huge, I know it's a huge undertaking for a lot of people, especially if you're a first time home buyer. And I mean, I can't think of any other industry or profession that requires so much paperwork, at least in my experience working with realtors in the past. I mean, It can be really
It's true.
nerve-wracking.
It's true, and it's good. It's become more and more over the years. For example, we never used to have a flood disclosure, but it was required starting last year. I worked with this mother and daughter team, and the mother was in her 80s, and she said, when I had her filling out the purchase paperwork, she said, "My husband and I used to own a brokerage," and he goes, "Guess how much paper we had to have signed?" And she picked up one piece and she said, "This much." I'm like, "Well, a lot's changed since then."
Ye yeah,
And
right.
it's really to protect the buyer.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting industry. It's always changing,
It
and
is.
I'm sure you as a realtor have to keep up with all those changes, and you do
Yes.
that very
Yes.
well, and
Thank you. Thank you.
that's excellent. So, you mentioned Ways for Life, Lisa, so I wanna talk about that and kind of give us the background, though, of what made you decide to co-found Ways for Life.
We adopted our daughter Tiffany when she was 8 in Connecticut, and she's now approaching 32 before we know it in June. And I always had this desire to help someone, and it was really affirmed by, I'm very much a woman of faith, and it was definitely, verified by God. He actually was the one who said, "I want you to help a child who needs a loving home." And so my husband and I, we decided to adopt. We adopted her from the Department of Children and Families in Connecticut, and now she's a mom, has her first son. He just turned 2, a few weeks ago, and, it just, I learned what happens to these kids. "Happy
Yeah,
birthday, here's your garbage bag, you gotta leave." And
terrible.
and that just never ever sat right for me. And so, um, I'm really, really excited about it. So I first started, with my church, a life skills program called Lift Up. And, we ran a couple of programs there, but then I met Pam Bress. She is a phenomenal woman who is an attorney, and she represented aging out of foster care for 10 years and just got really tired of what happens to these kids. They are out on the street. So what happens to these kids is a lot of them end up in jail. She ended up visiting a lot of her clients in jail.
Aw,
They become moms by 21 because, everyone wants love, right? And if you haven't ever felt love, they end up having children. And
yeah,
unfortunately, it can become a cycle because, these young people never had, the help that they needed. They didn't have the adult guidance that they needed. So many things happen to these kids. They end up homeless a lot. And
sad.
so that never sat right with me. I met Pam at a foster care breakout. She told me that she wanted to do, this type of a program. And I said, "Sign me up. I'm with you." And so we brought Lift Up over there. We have an incredible class of 12 that we meet every Thursday. And we meet together for 2 15-week cycles. Um, it's 30 weeks program, and it's great to see these kids learn and grow. And all of us who we have a great teaching team, we're all like, "Well, we wish we learned this when we were their ages." So
Yeah.
Race for Life is phenomenal. I am so grateful to be a part of it. We have an incredible team. Pam Bress, Katie Stewart is our COO. What a dynamic team they make. And, we've grown from, about 50 kids to over 500 and then also the kids are impacted, over 200 children of their children.
Yeah.
And what an incredible difference.
That gives me the chill, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, 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 and really members come in and they're, in a, intake process to find out what do they need. Do they need their high school diploma? Do they need mental health counseling? Do they need housing? What are they thinking about for a future career so they can be self-sustaining? Ways for Life, if we don't have it, we find out, is there another organization that has it? And if not, we create it. Katie and her team just started a trades lab at Waste because we
Oh,
just
that's
expanded
great.
to 11,000 square feet. So yeah, so I'm very grateful to be a part of it. Our staff and the team that Pam and Katie have created, they're phenomenal. They really, really
Yes.
are, and they all have a heart for what we're doing. So I am grateful.
Yes, and I had the privilege of getting a tour about a month
Yeah.
ago, and you guys are on what, like 3 floors? I mean, it's beautiful. The building that you're
Yeah.
in,
Yeah, yeah, we're at the
you're in
Housing Authority building, and we are, we started on the 2nd floor, and we just, moved into the 1st floor. That's where our GED, and mental health counseling is, because we had a wait list for the GED, and we don't want
yeah.
them to have to wait. So, we've hired more staff, and we wanna get them in as soon as we can. So now we're much bigger. I mean, the space that they're in right now is primarily the 1st floor. And we have tutors for these young people to help them get through and get their GED. And now we have 3 private rooms that the tutors can meet with the young people who are getting their GED. It's super great.
It's fabulous, and I know that you guys have a kitchen, there's hot meals, you even
Yes.
have a
Yeah,
room, like, with some toiletries if people wanna donate, to help them. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible.
they're
I mean,
beautiful. Yeah, the food and hygiene pantry. It's great.
yeah, it's fantastic. Well, you and I have talked about this before. We had such a wonderful upbringing,
Yeah.
and for me, like I'm going to be doing the race for independence. I'm going to be walking in that coming up.
Yeah.
Um, what in like a week? Actually, a week from Saturday already. I can't believe it. Time is flying by too fast. But we've talked about like I had a wonderful family and a support system. And 18, I cannot imagine just being like on my own. And I don't even understand where this magical number came from. Like you're 18 now, so you're supposed to just be able to like fend for yourself. I've never understood that. Isn't it like the frontal lobe or something doesn't even finish developing till you're like till you're 25?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely, and I
it's
was 25 years old. That's where
yeah,
logic and reasoning is, and that's why people that
yeah.
age don't have it.
So I can't imagine these poor kids, and I think did you say there's 6,000 unaccompanied minors in this county?
Yeah,
Do I have that right? Okay.
yes, you do.
Wow, that's so
Mhm.
sad. Now, how do
Yeah.
these kids find you? Like, it's
So we collaborate with many different organizations, in Brevard County, so they find out that way, and sometimes friends bring their friends. And, we really have done a lot of community outreach. Our name I mean, there are a lot of organizations say, "You gotta go to Waste for Life." So really we are very much a collaborative, group, and really, that is what makes things great, that you're not in your own little bubble, that you're really reaching out to make sure that these young people are taken care of. If we can't do it, let's bring them, to an organization that can help them. So, I
yeah.
really, appreciate that about our staff and Pam and Katie, uh, that, collaboration is key in
Oh,
something
absolutely.
such a big social issue, right? And part of our goal is to really impact that social issue because just like welfare, foster care is very cyclical. And we have had members who have lost their children to DCF, temporarily, and we've been able to help them get sustainable
Employment.
employment and housing, and also mental health counseling so that many of our members have gotten their kids back.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
it's really impact, that we have, in this whole societal issue of this, foster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you work with kids between with 15 up to 25, Lisa, is that right too?
Yes, that is our primary age group, but, I'll tell you, if somebody really needs our help and they're 26, we're not turning them away.
Oh, that's great.
We will help them.
And
But primarily, those are the ages that we care for.
yeah. And so if say a 15-year-old is homeless and they come in, like where do you guys go from there? If
Yeah, and so that is a real huge issue because typically you cannot house, a young person till they're 18 years old. And,
okay, didn't
Pam
know
and
that.
Katie will tell you a little bit more about that when you talk to them, but, yeah, we can't do anything about housing, other than try and get them into a good foster care home. That is about the most that we can do. Um,
Okay. So they have to stay in a foster home until they reach 18 if they're homeless.
right, right. So
Okay.
that's a really good question that you ask because that is one of the challenges, that we face. There are good foster homes and there are some that aren't so great. I've heard some
Yeah.
stories that break my heart, but, that's our goal, to find a good place for them, and typically they are either in a group home or they are in foster care, but there are some unaccompanied youth that don't qualify for foster care, which makes no sense, you know?
Yeah, how does that even work? What do you
Well, they call it couch surfing. They'll go from friend to friend. Some of them live in their car.
Oh, jeez, it's
Another
so sad.
Yeah, it is, it's heartbreaking. It's just not right, and unfortunately, a lot of government agencies don't really or aren't able to really take care of every single crisis that there is. And so that's primarily where we come in, to help those people. We've had some young, people who are living with their parents, but they need some help, or they're living with their grandparents. There are a lot of grandparents here in Brevard County, and really around the world that, are actually raising their grandchildren. We have some of those as well, and so,
Yeah.
we become a support system to the aunts, the uncles who, have their, called kinship foster care, grandparents. There's actually an organization called Grandparents Raising Grandchildren here in Brevard. So
Oh, wow.
we have an organization for that. So,
Yeah.
it's great to see the many success stories that we've had at Ways for Life. It just, we meet them where they are, really. We're
Mhm.
ready when they're ready. And
Yeah.
Pam and Katie and the staff do a really superior job of, having that in their heart and mind to help these kids when they are ready. And that's what it takes.
Yeah.
And they have to see that we truly care. And that can take a little bit of time.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you that because I could assume that many of these kids are traumatized. Maybe they've come from abusive situations or situations with alcoholic parents or some type of addiction. And I'm sure that it takes some time to work through that trauma.
Yes, and that's why,
Yeah.
Pam and Katie, have been for a long time, finding solutions, and that's what they do when they find out what, the individual needs. If we don't have it, they look for solutions, and they find solutions, and so we have Coastal Wellness, who is on the 1st floor, so they have a few rooms where they come and they actually do, counseling with our members who need it, who want it. 'Cause you can't make
Yeah.
somebody do that, but they
Right.
know it's available, and it is all about working through that trauma, and she has, some really, promising, modalities that she, works through to, help these young people be able to heal from the trauma, but it takes time, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure.
So
And I'm sure
yeah,
that
I've seen the results of that with, some of the members in our Lift Up Life Skills, how far they've come over, 3, 4 years, but it takes time, or even not wanting to do it and now getting the help that they need, for mental health. Oh,
yeah.
it's amazing.
So it sounds like a lot of patience is required on the part of the staff too.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Care, show that, they're loved, they're cared for, that they matter. A lot of these young people think they don't matter because that's kind of how they grew up, and it takes time for them to understand they matter.
Yeah, it's just it's so sad. I'm always grateful every day. That's one of the things I thank God for. As a woman of faith too, thank you
Yeah,
God for my upbringing in a
yeah, me
stable
too.
home. It's something like the older I get, the more I appreciate it. Especially, like learning like about 6,000 unaccompanied minors just in this county alone. But I think this really shows what you could do at the local level too. I was just thinking, I wish there was a ways for life in every county in the state and,
Mm,
and in every state because you really focus on sort of blooming where you're planted and helping people like where you are, where they are,
yeah.
and really making a difference at that local level.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do talk about, in the future helping people, different areas. I actually have a call in a couple of weeks with a gentleman from Massachusetts. A friend of mine there recommended that he talk to me because he wants to do something like this. So I'll talk to him and then I will, introduce him to Pam and Katie. So we'll see. I'm not exactly sure what he has in mind, but, I'll be talking to him in a couple of weeks. So, yeah.
Well, you guys have figured out the model that it works because it's been what 7 years now that
We
waste.
celebrated 6 years. We actually opened during COVID, just before
Good for you
bam.
though. Yeah.
Yep, yep,
Incredible. I'll
yeah.
tell you, this was meant to be. I mean, this was definitely a God thing,
Oh,
and you
100%.
guys are thriving. So,
Yeah, 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 and God did tell me before we moved from Connecticut, um, he told me, "I want you to help those kids because it was always bothered my heart, the number of kids that never got adopted, and they're out. Happy birthday, you're 18. And so he told me, and I'm like, "Well, I'm moving." So as soon as I got to Florida, I didn't realize that Florida's, foster care basically is privatized. And so I found that out at a Rotary Club up in the, Volusia County area where I initially moved, and I met a president of, a, private organization that took care of the foster care in Volusia County. So that's how I learned about it. And, I was involved in a program up there in Ormond Beach at a church, and that was, like, kind of the model that I brought here when I moved here. It was very different because that was, 16 weeks, and we are 30 weeks. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So DC up in Florida is privatized? I did not know that.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It's privatized. Yep. And, I mean, they're the first point of contact.
Yeah, I just love that you have so many community partners and people and even businesses, right? You have businesses that'll come in and do like a career day for these kids and kind
Oh,
of talk
sure.
to them about what they
Yeah.
do.
Not
Yeah.
long ago, we did a hospitality day. Like I think I mentioned that we're doing a trades lab now.
Ah, it's
Any
fabulous.
kind of trade, electrician, plumber, anything like that. And Pam is, Katie, our COO, has been very instrumental in our Career Pathways program, and this is another offshoot of the Career Pathways program. So what we used to use as the GED room is now the trades lab. And so that's
Mm,
super exciting. I'm really excited to see how that grows because, college isn't for everyone. A lot of our
right.
kids do go on to college or they go into the military. We pay for, dental hygienists, CNAs. And we've even had donors who, paid for one of our members to go to nursing school. She spoke at
Wow.
our gala one year and he stepped up and he paid for her nursing school.
Oh my
The
gosh.
the people in this
It's
community
incredible.
are just
Yeah.
incredible. We can't do it without the community. We have well over 100 volunteers, and, that's what makes us work, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, our
Yeah.
staff work very, very hard, but we can't do it without the community. It's really a community involvement program, and I'm really grateful for the community. Very grateful.
And you guys do a lot of fundraisers too. So is this mostly private donations that kind of keep you going? Or
Grants
grant?
and donations,
Okay.
we're getting to the point where our donation base has grown a lot, which has been super helpful because most of the grants that we have are restricted to certain things, like a portion of this person's salary or, mental health counseling, things like that. So, it's a bit tricky with that. So
Yeah.
our donor base has grown over the years, so that's been super helpful. But we have an exceptional grant writer, and without the grants, it still would be very difficult to be able to operate. So, we're very blessed. God is in it all.
Yeah.
In it all.
I'm glad that you guys have opened up to the trades because it gives the kids more options if they don't want to go to college. But we had a conversation recently. I can't remember Florida at the state level. If they want to go to college, they can up to age
Yeah,
25 or something.
it's actually, I believe, up to age 27, where
Okay.
they can go to a state school tuition free
Yeah,
if they've
that's
been
great.
in foster care a certain period of time.
Okay.
Yeah. There are
Yeah. Well,
stipend programs that Florida offers, if you're either working or going to college after the age of, once you turn 18 and you're eligible to go to college. So, yeah, so Florida definitely is, very helpful in that regard because I know where I came from in Connecticut, that was not something that Connecticut paid for. My understanding since we've moved is they will pay for, like, community college, but that might be different, but I know at the time when we had our daughter, there wasn't a program like that. So that really is great because if they want to go to college, they have that, and we have many members who've done that and
yeah.
utilize those services, but some young people, they didn't graduate high school because of the trauma and the chaos in their life. So for them, they need something different. But even some of those young people who were in chaos and have trauma, they wanna make their lives better, so they will, but it's great. We have so many options for our members, and
Yeah.
whatever they wanted to. Some people take care advantage of every single thing that Ways for Life, offers, and some are just like, "Okay, I want my high school diploma." But a lot of our members, once they start coming, they see that our staff cares for them, they're in a loving environment, and they enjoy being there. They enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. And you guys also, I think I saw this on social media, you have mentors too that will help them fill out a job application or whatever they're doing, a college
Yeah.
application.
FAFSA, which is very complicated. I remember doing that with my son, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, we will hold their hands and help them with whatever they need. And if we don't have the resources, we will find them for them.
Incredible.
Pam and Katie can speak so much more volume to all of that because they are boots on the ground. They're there every day. I'm on the board of directors. I am a co-founder. And really Pam has and Katie have really developed an exceptional program that is making a huge difference in these
Yeah.
people's lives. And it's like a village, you ever always hear takes a village to raise a child. And it's
Yeah.
really between our staff, our board, our volunteers. It is just incredible.
Yeah.
And you'll hear more, when you talk to Pam and Katie.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to interview them, and I was excited. I think I met Katie that day that we were there in
Yes, you
person,
did.
and I
Yeah.
just loved her like enthusiasm. You can just tell that it's so genuine, and she's so excited about what you're all doing together. And
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
this is
And
just
she's
great.
such a huge part of it all.
Yeah.
It's she actually, brought over the GED Fast Track program. It was prior to coming over to Ways for Life, one of the most successful GED programs because there are tutors that help these young people through. And, we help them get their testing. We pay for everything. Ways for Life
Wow,
pays for everything. So Katie brought that over and she's incredible as well.
fantastic.
Mhm.
So, what kind of volunteer opportunities are available? Like, do you have mentor volunteers, for example? Like, if somebody wants to be sort
Yeah.
of like a big brother, big sister thing, yeah,
Yes. Yeah, and so we definitely need more tutors, we need more mentors, and really the way to go about it is to go to waysforlife.org and go to the volunteer tab and sign up, and there's a whole process to it. We wanna make sure that all of our members are safe, so the first
sure,
thing is apply, and then, Leslie, who is our volunteer coordinator, she'll reach out, have an interview, give you, a tour, and so, if you're directly involved with kids, you will need to, and even our board members go through background check
mhm,
to keep
great,
everything safe. And really,
yeah,
for a lot of our grants, it's required anyway. But
yeah.
it's a responsible thing to do, which we would do even if it wasn't for grants. So,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. I'm going to put all the information in the show description too, so people
Okay,
can
good.
easily access the website
Yes,
and find the volunteer opportunities. Because yeah, that sounds amazing. You guys, I just love what you guys do. It's
yeah,
it's pretty incredible.
yeah,
And what you've been able to accomplish in a really a short amount of time. And when the lockdown started, I mean, and you guys have just
yep,
powered through all of that.
yep. Pam was
And
like,
yeah,
Pam quit her job. Pam quit her job.
that's
She did.
incredible.
Going with
Yeah.
her husband is incredible as well, and he supported her all along the way, and here we are. It's just incredible 6 years.
And I saw a picture recently of a bunch of graduates in their caps and gowns at your
Yes,
place, and I was
yeah.
like,
Yes.
"Cool."
Oh, it's so great to go to those graduations. I don't wanna miss any of them. It's super cool to cheer them on, because some of them don't have anybody.
Yeah,
Some
that just makes me
some
so
some do have some family members, but some have they don't have anybody. And so we become I mean, our whole goal is to create a family-oriented environment, and our staff do an exceptional job at that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you can tell from the moment you walk in and just
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
everybody's just incredible there. So, well, that's great. So I'm gonna have all that information in the show description. So Lisa, getting back to real estate though, what if somebody how does people get in touch with you if they really want to work with you as far as real estate and
Sure, yeah.
market?
They can, go to lisasoloway.com, and
Okay.
that's, Soloway, and they can call me at 321-301-0824. Um, it's a nice conversation to find out what their needs are, and then we would get together and kinda go into that a little more deeply and show them what I offer, that how I can help them, and, depending on if it's a seller or a buyer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And I know we have someone in our group who does mortgages and he's got all kinds of
Yes.
options for people and you work closely with him. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yep. Like Jace. Yep.
kind of like a one-stop shop for someone and you really take all the guesswork out of it, which is amazing. So
Yeah, and for my buyers, a lot of buyers don't know a home inspector. So I have, a home inspector that I refer out, and I coordinate, reach right out, once we have a purchase agreement, to schedule it, in accordance with my buyer's schedule. And then he does his thing, and then we go out and get a summary of, what needs to be repaired. So, the ages of the systems if we can't see it and it's not disclosed. So, yeah, from A to Z,
yeah.
and even if, I've had, issues where there is some rodent stuff in the
Ah,
attic, get that taken care of. So, yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
mean, really, A to Z, you know?
Yeah,
It's
that's awesome. And I know you recently did a first-time home buyers seminar.
actually
So
actually, our home first-time home buyers event is April 25th, Saturday, from 3 to 5 at the Tuscany Grill in Vieira, and it's free, and they can reach out to me, anyone who's interested can reach out to me about that, I can get them registered, and yeah, so we're looking forward to it, and Mike is part of that. We have Nikki from Nikki Jones Allstate, and then we also have Michelle Passion from Supreme Title, who, will be there to explain, like, the closing process, what's required of that. So they're gonna know from, "I need money to buy a house," to, "Oh, I gotta have in homeowners insurance," to, "Okay, here's what it takes to close on a property and get the keys to your new home."
yeah, a lot of moving parts.
Oh, so many moving parts, but I really love it, and it really boils down to I love helping people.
Yeah.
Love helping people. That's my heart, and that's why I love what I do because that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Absolutely. You have to support each other.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Lisa, is there anything we didn't talk about that you want to share before we end the interview?
Well, I really feel I'm speaking to business owners. It's important to make a difference in our community. And that's really a huge part of my heart. And I feel like more and more business owners could do that. And we do have a lot of business owners do help at Ways for Life. So I'm super grateful for that. But I just, I think having something that you support along the way in your community and letting your customers know is such a good thing. And I always like to tell people that, are you helping the community? And if they say
Yeah.
yes, "Yay, yay, yay, what are you doing?" "How can I support you?" And if they say no, "What has impacted your life?" Like, adopting our dog has impacted our life. So that is what I do. That's I'm passionate about real estate, but this is also passion. And, my
Yeah.
kids are grown, I have 4 children and 7 sons and a, granddaughter. And so, they're all busy. They're all doing their own thing, and we get
Yeah.
together and we celebrate life together, um, you know, throughout the week. Everybody's working, going to school,
Yeah.
you
Doing
know
their thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
doing their thing, and I get to love doing what I do.
Yeah, that's amazing. I do agree with you with business owners too. And especially if you're a business like an electrician or something where you can actually maybe help someone get into a career track. I mean,
Yes.
what a great opportunity knowing that they have that full supportive ways. Um, what you guys are doing for them. I mean, they're going to get great employees too. So,
Yeah,
you
absolutely,
know,
absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to see where our trades labs
yeah.
goes because my 2nd youngest son, he is in HVAC. And, my oldest son's in the military,
Yeah.
and then I have one son who went to, college, and he's an engineer, and then our daughter, she's such a hard worker. She works from home, and she takes care of her son, and then she works a 2nd job. So
Oh my goodness.
she's always been a go-getter. I'm so proud of her, and I'm proud of all my kids. It's just, great, and to see our grandkids growing up, holy moly, they grow up really fast. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
would really be what I would want people to know is, do something good with the money that you have. And that's my belief. Money is to be used for good, to do good in this world, in addition to supporting our lives. But that's my belief. That's how I value money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I share that with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that too. It's not good unless it's helping people and
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. Exactly.
supporting the community. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a great conversation, and I encourage everyone to volunteer, donate, Ways for Life. It's fabulous. I'm looking forward to the walk next week. Lisa, you
Yeah.
just have such a heart for people, and it's just wonderful what you're doing. So, I
Thank
mean, just
you.
thank you for what you do, and just congratulations on all the success you're having with Ways for Life. I mean, you guys are impacting lives,
Yeah.
and in turn, and impacting the community, the state, just society in general. My wish would be for Ways for Life to exist in every county and every state, and I think it would create a better country.
It would. It
Do.
would, especially for the most vulnerable young people. But thank you so much. I am super blessed to do what I do, both in real estate and Waste for Life, and beyond blessed that you are with me here and sharing this news with our community. Appreciate you very much.
Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Feeling is mutual. Take care.
Thank you. You
Talk
too.
soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Hi, I'm Dr. Liz. I just want to tell you how amazing and easy it was to work with Daria on my book. You see, I've had a book for a while, been sitting on my desk, sitting on my computer. Maybe you might be able to relate to that. And I didn't know what to do, how to take it to the next step, how to make it look polished and edited and easy and useful for my readers. Met with Daria. We had some great conversations. She learned my voice, my goal, my style, and she was able to edit and give me feedback on how to make my message clearer, more focused, polished, and it worked. I have a book. In fact, I have a book and a workbook that she's edited for me and guided me along the pathway. So if you're maybe a little bit like me, that you have a book or you have an idea and you haven't known where to take it, how to take it to the next stage, reach out to Daria. She's a game changer and she's really easy to work with and takes great pride in her work as well. So join me in the publish author arena. Reach out to Daria. I'm Dr. Liz.